Good Wednesday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Jesse Peterson, and let's go and talk about the weather for your Wednesday evening going into your future. We have some stuff to talk about tonight. As we always do. And we have some stuff to discuss. Now, in terms of what we're going to talk about first off, if you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. Right now, we have around a good 4 people in here, and around a good 6 people in here, and about 4 likes right now. So if you're a part of that group that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. Also, subscribe if you're new. We're at 646 subscribers, trying to get to 700. We are 4 away from the halfway mark of 650, and we are 54 away from the main goal of 700 subscribers. Also, share with your friends, family members, acquaintances, people that you're gonna have New Year's dinner with. It just doesn't matter. Go on and share it with somebody so they can go on and get the weather for free. For free. Now, what are we going to talk about tonight? Well, we obviously will talk about the current conditions, what's currently going on throughout the state. We also will talk about what's going to happen in terms of tonight, just in general. Tomorrow, short-term future, long-term future. We'll talk about our pattern for the next 7 days. We'll go possibly even further than that into mid-January, as well as usual. And then after that, nothing else. Obviously it's New Year's Eve, probably hanging out with family, friends, or you might just not really be hanging out with too many people. So we're just gonna go on and get this thing started and not try to have it on for too long tonight. Now, in terms of your current conditions right now, currently nothing going on throughout the entire state of South Carolina. We are nice and dry right now. But what about the entire United States? Well, right now we do in fact have some rainfall and snowfall going on, starting off down over here inside of the Southwest. California getting a lot of rainfall. Nevada, especially near Las Vegas, getting a lot of rainfall. Utah, Arizona, parts of New Mexico as well. We have some snowfall going on all the way from Indiana to Ohio to Michigan, to the UP of Michigan, as well to Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and New York, all getting in on some snowfall right now as they have been continuing to get with that snowfall. Rainfall on the southern side, it seems, as well. Now, in terms of our cloud cover right now is showing some kind of heavy cloud cover, but nothing too crazy. Like up there inside the upstate, we have some cloud cover over there. Maybe inside the Midlands as well, going on inside the PD area. Cloud cover is ongoing over there. And then in terms of our cloud cover for the future, you go on and push this forward right here. Go all the way through to around 11 o'clock p.m. all the way to 1 o'clock in the morning. Look at all of this cloud cover that we have going on over here inside from the PD areas up there inside of the northern upstate a little bit, maybe in the low country, southern Midlands, going all the way to 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Cloud cover really starting to clear away now at that point. And then look at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Nice and clear. Even going into like the evening, 7 o'clock, nice and clear. We go on all the way to 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 12 a.m. Some cloud cover really starting to move in from the west. And this is our rainfall that we're going to have to look out for, especially as we go into Saturday. This is the system right here pushing in all of this cloud cover, and it looks like it's going to be a cloudy Friday. Is in store. That's in store for us, even as we go into the evening as well. Now, what about our current temperatures right now? What's currently going on in terms of our temperatures? Right now, 38 in Orangeburg as well as 38 in Somerville, 43 in Charleston, and 44 in Beaufort, 46 in Hilton Island, as well as a good 39 up there in Georgetown, 42 Murray's Inlet, as well as a good 36 in Conway, 43 in North Myrtle Beach, and 38 in Florence, 37 in Lugoff, as well as 38 in Newbury, 40 inside of Greenwood, and 38 in Rock Hill, 39 inside of Spartanburg and Gaffney, 40 in Greenville, 41 in Clemson and Anderson. Now, what about your low temperatures for tonight? Around a good 32 in Greenville, 32 in Spartanburg, and around a good 36 in Anderson, 34 in Lawrence, and 33 over there in Newbury and Winsboro, 33 in Camden, and 34 in Sumter, 31 also inside of Kingstree, and 34 in Georgetown, 35 inside of Moncks Corner, and 34 in Walterboro, 39 in Charleston, even 37 in Myrtle Beach, 31 in Dillon. High temperatures for tomorrow. We have around a good 58 in Greenville, 57 in Spartanburg, and as well as 56 inside of Rock Hill, 60 in Columbia, and 60 in Aiken, 60 also inside of Barnwell, Orangeburg, Walterboro, Charleston, Hilton Island. Just that whole stretch. It's going to be 60 degrees in terms of high temperatures from Columbia all the way down towards the coastal areas. You have around 58 in Georgetown, 58 King Street, 56 also inside of Myrtle Beach, 58 inside of Florence and Camden and Chirra. Rainfall for tonight going into tomorrow. Rainfall is not expected at this time, so we are right now nice and dry. Again, nice and dry as we move throughout the next 24 hours or so. Crazy score for tonight. If you have no idea what the crazy score is, it is a score that we see how crazy the weather is throughout the entire state of South Carolina. And right now we are at a 36. Why are we at a 36? Well, I will say it's mainly because that noticeable widespread, freeze that we still have that can potentially still go on. You go back to those low temperatures, you see around a good 32 up there far inside the upstate. Maybe not widespread throughout a lot of regions, but like throughout the upstate, you can see throughout the PD area, you will see freezing temperatures. And so some can even get especially cooler because this night right here could have some radiational cooling. Within that radiational cooling drops those temperatures a lot, and so you have to make sure you keep those plants inside of a garage and make sure pipes are still covered, pets are brought inside, but no wind, obviously no precipitation, storm amplifications, anything like that, so we're good. So now what about the SPC outlook for tonight? Thunderstorm activity not expected tonight, same thing with tomorrow, but what about on Friday? Nothing. We are nice and dry and nice and calm in terms of that thunderstorm activity. Excessive rainfall as we go into the next 5 days or so for tonight, tomorrow, going into day 3, day 4, and day 5, we are nice and calm here as well. I mean, just overall, just seeming very calm. I mean, no severe weather, no excessive rainfall, no rainfall. In general, we see some cooling, but for the most part, I mean, it just looks like it's going to be a calm night going into tomorrow. Even getting a bit clearer as well tomorrow. So let's go on now and look at the model. So apparently something's going on right now with the website that I use for the short-term model. So I'm going to have to use another website. We're going to use this one right here. You won't be able to see the time, but it won't matter because if we go throughout the next 48 hours or so, no rainfall as we go throughout the next 48 hours. So we are good in terms of rainfall for the next 48 hours. So now we can go on and look at the regular one with the time and look at the long-term model. So we're going to look at it right here. And let's go and talk about the long-term future. Well, we go on and push this forward. And I already said that Saturday was not going to be a good day. And it looks like that's still remaining to be true for the most part. Saturday is not really looking like the best day at all. And I said that if you have anything to get done, Saturday definitely would not be the day to do it as rainfall it would still be going on by that time. Even as you go into Sunday morning, it's leaving by that time frame. And then we continue all the way through the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th. I mean, just for the most part, we do have some shower activity definitely going on. Definitely not bone dry, but the next time we actually will see like an actual system try to move through may not be until like mid-January. And so there goes a little cold front right there, trying to move its way through. And speaking of, let's go in and look at our dew points and see these cold fronts right here. But you can see right here all of this cooler air. You continue all the way throughout the 54-hour mark, and there goes a little system that we were talking about right there on Saturday that brings some moist air with it. And we have like a little bit of a little dry air masses try to go over our area right here on January the 5th. Then the 6th, the 7th, the 8th comes along, and we just remain just cold frontless until around like possibly the 14th. But look at this cold front right here, or this cold area right here trying to move its way inside of the state. This dry area trying to move in the state, but this moisture right here is keeping it at bay and kind of just denying it entry until you get into around the 15th where it decides it finally wants to try and break free. We can also go and look at the temperature anomalies as well. You can see cooler than average temperatures for the most part, but then we get to like the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, and yes, you still see some cool air here and there, but the warm air definitely is doing the majority of the work right now. You go all the way into January the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, and just it looks like warm air will continue as we continue throughout the first part of January. So a warm start to January definitely is possible. Now we'll talk about We'll talk about the averages and stuff like that tomorrow. We're going to be talking about January forecast tomorrow night, so make sure that you're there for that. But now, what about our shaded temperatures? So these are actually what the temperatures actually look like and what they actually are. I mean, we have 60s, we have 40s here and there, but until we get a little bit further into January, you look at this and you're like 40s. I mean, that's not really warmer than average. It actually is warmer than average for this time of year. We should be seeing temperatures less than that, and so you see 40s and stuff like that, and you're like, okay, well, it's gonna be cold. I mean, at least for 40, some people might say, okay, well, that's cold, but not for this time of year. Even as you go into around January the 7th, you have temperatures getting back up into the 70s again. Even as you go right here, look at this day in particular, January the 9th. Now, again, these are just days that I'm just calling out, 200 plus hours out, so can't really say too much there. But, I mean, you're seeing temperatures trying to get back up into the high 70s, January the 14th there, 300 plus hours out. So, like I said, a warm January definitely is in store for at least the first part. We'll look at the last half, or at least attempt to look at the averages for both of the first half and the last half as we get into tomorrow evening. And so that's pretty much all I have to say in terms of the long-term future. Let's go on now and look for our drought monitor. So if you don't know what the drought monitor is, it is a prediction or a little thing that we do to see what the drought monitor looks like, what the U.S. drought monitor website, what they say that the drought is currently doing right now. And so you have 4 options. All of them are inside the chat right now. If you have not voted, please go on and do so, because we're about to reveal the answer soon. I say drought predictions. 60% says that the drought has expanded. What does that mean? The drought has expanded because we did have a drought the last time. 30% said that the drought has shrunk/stayed the same. 10% said that the drought is gone and the abnormally dry remains, which means, if you don't know what the abnormally dry is you're on the brink of a drought, but not quite a drought. And 0% says that the drought and the abnormally dry is gone. And so if I go on real quick and look, let me go on and do this so I can hide my screen for a second. If I go on over here and look at the observations, we go to the observed precipitation, we go over here towards the southeast, and we go over for the past 7 days in terms of our observed precipitation. I can already eliminate 2 options out of my mind right now. In fact, I could probably remove a lot. But we're going to say 2 for sure. The drought is definitely not gone. And the abnormally dry is definitely not gone either. So those bottom 2 options, unfortunately for the 10% that said that the drought is gone and the abnormally dry remains, unfortunately, is incorrect. But the other 2, 60% said that the drought has expanded, 30% said that the drought has shrunk/stayed the same. And so, in my opinion, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking about the temperatures from earlier in the week. I mean, it did get cold this last little bit. But if you remember Christmas Day, I mean, it was like 70 degrees. So I'm going to have to agree with the majority here, say with the 60%, and say that the drought has expanded. While 30% over here said the drought has shrunk/stayed the same. I'm going to have to be with the 60% here. And so we're going to go and get a drum roll real quick. I have to get it because I need to do that like tomorrow. Get all my sound bites back. The reason why we did have the drought monitor today is because they actually did it early, because obviously tomorrow's New Year's Day, and so they didn't want to go on and obviously update it on New Year's, and so that was the main reason why. So I found a drum roll, and we're going to go on and reveal it at the end of the drum roll. So let's go ahead and get that started. And pretty much exactly what I thought. 60%, the drought has expanded. The drought has expanded. So obviously, not a good thing. But the majority of us got it correct. So go and give ourselves a round of applause for that. Again, unfortunate that the drought unfortunately had to expand, but 60% of us got it correct, including me. So I rebounded. I believe I was 2 weeks in a row got it wrong, um, but I'm back in the win column, so that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And so if I go and look at the drought just specifically and just see what's going on here in terms of the counties, I mean, pretty much all of the upstate is included in a drought. Now you got all the southern, western Midlands is as well. Over here near like Colleton County, moderate drought. Hampton County, Beaufort County, Jasper, moderate. Bamberg, Orangeburg. And look at this abnormally dry. It definitely did expand all the way up, all the way throughout the Tri-County region of Dorchester, Berkeley, and Charleston County. Everybody in those counties now are inside of an abnormally dry. Williamsburg and Georgetown are now included inside of an abnormally dry as well. And also another place that just saw a new drought addition over here in McCormick County and Greenwood County. These areas got droughts added as you went into this week as well. And so the drought is expanding. How much will we see it expand? Well, unfortunately, like I said earlier during the long-term forecast, not too much rainfall is really expected as we go throughout the next 15 days or so as we go into January. And so, unfortunately, this might expand even more. But we'll continue to keep an eye out for it. We'll see what happens there. Let's see what's going on throughout with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off, Mr. Chris was here first tonight. He says, good evening, everyone. Hope you all had a great day and surviving the cold. I am. Thank you so much for that. He says, please remember to go and hit the like button and the subscribe button. Also share with everyone you know. It's free and it helps the channel grow. He's absolutely correct. Right now, let's see how many people we have in here. We have 18 people that have tuned in, only 9 likes so far. So if you're a part of the other 9 that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. It's free and you can change your mind at any time. Also, Ms. Tolliver comes in and says, Happy early New Year. Was a cool, slightly breezy day at my house. I had 4 hooded mergansers, I hope I said that correctly, in my pond, and they would appreciate some rainfall. I do, think obviously with the lack of rainfall, I mean, it's not really going to happen too, it's not going to be like in an abundance if it was to occur. We just saw like Saturday will potentially be a day that it could potentially be raining as well. But after that, I mean, I'm not really seeing anything else too promising in terms of that widespread rainfall that we possibly would want. So that's her comment. Let me see. Mr. Grace comes back and says, currently it's 35 here in Moncks Corner. Well, thank you so much for that. Then, Mr. Chris comes back and says, also Happy New Year's to everyone. Well, thank you so much for that as well. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. A Happy New Year to everyone. Well, thank you so much for that. My Aunt Lula says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Ms. Tolliver says, hey, Joseph, I heard upstate New York got hit pretty hard with the snowstorm. Syracuse was pretty bad. Is it over for them? Absolutely not. They are definitely still receiving snowfall right now, as we speak even. And not only that, but if you go on and look over here, where's Syracuse at? All the way over here. They're inside of a special weather statement. What is that for? Well, it says some light snow will initially occur, early tonight. However, a strong Arctic cold front will pose the threat for dangerous snow squalls later this evening, which pretty much is now. But heavy snow, strong wind gusts, and near whiteout conditions. This will result in hazardous travel conditions, such as, that snow-covered roads and stuff like that. And so, I mean, it says from Steuben County and Finger Lakes to the Great Syracuse areas between 10 p.m. and midnight, and then we'll go southeast to include just the remainder of areas from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. And so, so they're not done. They are not done at all in terms of that snowfall. Back over here towards the chat. Ms. Tolliver says, also, do you have any predictions on how the temperatures in January will be on average? Well, from the beginning of the month, from January the 1st all the way to the 15th, well, you already saw that it definitely is going to be more on the more warmer side. And so we'll talk about the rest of the month as we go into tomorrow evening, like I said, but for the beginning of the month, definitely warmer. My Aunt Lewis says, I had a better day today. It wasn't as cold as yesterday. Absolutely. Then my cousin Cheryl comes in and says, Happy New Year's Eve and Happy New Year, Weatherman. You warm my heart. I'm so proud of you, what you're doing, what you love to do. So be blessed, everyone, because God is making a shift in the new year. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that comment. My name says, hello, Jay. Lots of fireworks over here. Same over here, but not too close. Not too close. Continuing through, Maya Lewis says, again, today in Georgetown, it wasn't as bad as yesterday. Chilly but sunny. It was great shopping weather. And then Trail says, greetings, everyone. Greetings to you. Mr. Michael says, Happy New Year, y'all. Happy New Year's to you as well. And then, for the most part, Miss Chris says that shouldn't be good if the cold front hits those warm temperatures. Explain what you mean by that when you say that shouldn't be good if a cold front hits those warm Oh, are you talking about from where, like, it was like a little bit like of a stalemate? Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, that definitely is not a good scenario at all. I mean, like I said, as we went towards the end of that run, you saw that cold front and that warm front kind of just like mixing together and kind of, well, not really warm front, but that warm air and that cold front moving into one another, and that produced shower and thunderstorm activity. So I do understand what you mean. And so, yeah, not really a good sign there if you see that. But like I said, we'll continue to see how the patterns, how they shift. But winter severe weather, it's not an anomaly. You could definitely see. I mean, we just saw a severe weather outbreak over there in Illinois and Indiana, over there in Ohio as well. And then he says, exactly. So, okay, that is what you meant. And that's all I can see here inside the chat. If you want to go on and leave something inside the chat, you can. I will come back to it. But right now, let's go on and talk about the 3 locations outside of South Carolina. If you have no idea what I'm talking about Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about these areas is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly. Almost nightly. And so we're going to talk about Raleigh first, and we'll go on to Philadelphia and Duncan, Oklahoma. So starting off with Raleigh first, you have low temperatures tonight at 34, high temperatures tomorrow at 53, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 31. In terms of precipitation, that's not expected at this time. But in terms of severe weather and excessive rainfall, still that fire risk. Same thing for South Carolina. We still have that fire risk, like I said. If you are doing fireworks or you know somebody that is, make sure you remind them. Be careful with it. But also for Raleigh as well. So, again, if you are doing that over there, make sure you're being careful with it and you're not burning anything if you don't have to. I think after today, though, after tonight, that fire risk is pretty much going to be done for. Now, what's going on in terms of your long-term future over there? For the most part, looks like that you're going to try to warm back up, but it's not really going to succeed too much. I mean, temperatures are really going to be stuck in that 50 range for the highs, and then lows will be down in like the 30s-ish or so, maybe high 20s for some nights. Maybe 40s, I mean, as early as Friday night as well. So, seems like not too much is going to change. Now, in terms of Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight at 26, high temperatures tomorrow at 32, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 21. Chance of heavy snow tonight, also a chance of heavy snow tomorrow during the day. Precipitation not expected at this time. And then in terms of severe weather and excessive rainfall, not inside the question either. What about for your future? Looks like right now you're going to just continue to be cool. I mean, you're going to continue to see temperatures down, freezing in the low 30s, and then you're going to continue to see those low temperatures down in the 20s as well. And so it's going to continue to be cold for you. You may try to warm up as you go into early next week. Wednesday high of 47, but not really going to be too much of an increase. But I will say, also no snowfall seems to be happening either. You also will have wind gusts tomorrow of up to 30 miles per hour, so slightly breezy. And then finally, the last location being Duncan, Oklahoma, with low temperatures tonight at 34, high temperatures tomorrow at 63, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 40. Precipitation not expected at this time. In terms of severe weather and excessive rainfall, not expected. In terms of your future, you definitely will be warming up, like next week, Monday, 75. So definitely will be warming up as you go into next week. And that's all I can see here in terms of those 3 locations. So what's going on throughout the entire U.S.? In terms of our weather news? Well, right now it seems like Snow squalls are likely to cross the lower Great Lakes this evening and the Ohio Valley through the interior northeast/northern mid-Atlantic overnight, before potentially reaching the I-95 corridor from D.C. to New York City early New Year's Day morning. Heavy rainfall and isolated severe thunderstorms will impact coastal Southern California, including Los Angeles tonight into early on New Year's Day. So for the most part, that's all I can see here in terms of stuff for our future in terms of the entire U.S. I do in fact see there will be some flash flooding potentially ongoing tonight into tomorrow throughout that Southern California area from Los Angeles to Santa Barbara to Oxnard to Riverside to Long Beach. All of these areas will potentially receive some flash flooding, as there is a slight risk, 15% risk of flash flooding. And then anything in terms of, anything else that I can see, some freezing going on inside of Florida and Georgia. That continues, and as soon as I say I don't hear any fireworks close by, the first one occurs. But I think that's all. So I don't see anything else here. So that is it. It wraps this up for the final forecast of 2025. Top fans of the night tonight for the final forecast being Mr. Chris at number 1, Mr. Oliver at number 2, or... excuse me, I actually think my Aunt Lula at number 2, and then Miss Tolliver at number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans of the night tonight. If you want to be a part of the top fan, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And you also have to be here early, and you have to be active. The more chats that you put in, the more up the board you're going to go. And so that's pretty much going to end that off. Subscribe. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 700 subscribers. We're at 646, trying to get to 700. If you're new, go on and do that. Hit the like button. Share with all the people that you know, friends, family members, acquaintances. Share it to even people you don't even like. Just share it to somebody. They can go on and get the forecast. But that's all. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday, New Year's Eve, hopefully having a good transition in to New Year's Day. And I hope that everyone has a fantastic 2026. And I'll be back tomorrow morning for your New Year's Day / first forecast of 2026 forecast update. Make sure you hit those 2 buttons before you leave.